yourself do something, you will do it. And you're just sitting confusion. And you wonder why God caused you people. Useless black people. You don't know what justice means. You have no idea what justice means. You don't know what justice means. Useless black African people. You don't know the meaning of justice. Your constitution says you cannot try anybody unless the law is written. Show me the written law. Show me the written law. I want to know the written law. Talk to me now. Show me the written law. Are you okay? Don't go close. Don't try that rubbish. Don't try it. Don't try it. Go ahead and say don't try rubbish. Don't try rubbish. Useless people. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court judgment you don't respect. Then why are we in the court of law? Why are we in the court of law, I ask? Nonsense.
Court fixes November 20th for judgment in Nnamdi Kanu's terrorism trial. The Federal High Court in Abuja has scheduled November 20th, 2025, for the delivery of judgment in the terrorism trial involving the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. Justice James Omotosho, who presides over the matter, fixed the date on Friday following Kanu's failure to open his defense within the 6 days earlier allotted to him by the court to present his case. Delivering a ruling, Justice Omotosho observed that the defendant had exhausted all opportunities granted to him to conduct his defense but chose not to utilize them. Consequently, the court held that Kanu could not subsequently claim to have been denied his constitutional right to a fair hearing. At Friday's proceedings, Kanu's legal team filed a fresh motion challenging the validity of the ongoing trial. In the motion, Kanu argued that terrorism was no longer an offense in Nigeria, asserting that the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act, under which he was being tried, had been repealed. On this basis, he contended that the charges against him were invalid and urged the court to strike them out for lack of jurisdiction. Kanu further prayed the court to dismiss the charges, expunge from its record the plea of not guilty purportedly entered on his behalf, and declare all subsequent proceedings a nullity, insisting that they were conducted contrary to the decisions of the Supreme Court. He also sought an order directing his immediate release from custody. The defendant is currently facing a 7-count terrorism charge brought against him by the federal government of Nigeria. The prosecution had, on June 19, 2025, closed its case after calling 5 witnesses and tendering several exhibits. Following the close of the prosecution's case, Justice Omotosho had on October 16 granted Kanu 6 consecutive days, from October 23 to October 30, to open and close his defense. The directive followed a medical report by the Nigerian Medical Association NMA certifying the defendant fit to stand trial. However, despite the extended timeline, Kanu failed to call any witnesses or present evidence in his defense, maintaining instead that no valid charge existed against him. Counsel to the federal government, Adegoboyega Awamolo-san, informed the court that there was no need to file a counter-affidavit in response to Kanu's fresh motion. He noted that the prosecution would rely on the existing court records and urged the court to take judicial notice of the current state of the law. Awamolo further contended that the defendant's refusal to enter his defense amounted to deliberate obstruction, stressing that the prosecution had complied fully with legal and procedural requirements throughout the trial. He therefore urged the court to proceed to judgment. In his ruling, Justice Omotosho recalled that the case, originally filed in 2015, had suffered several delays before being reassigned to his court earlier in 2025, where it subsequently received accelerated hearing. The judge observed that numerous adjournments had been granted at Kanu's request to enable him to cross-examine prosecution witnesses. He noted that after Kanu's no-case submission was dismissed, the defendant was ordered to open his defense but later refused to proceed, arguing instead that the terrorism law under which he was charged no longer existed. Justice Omotosho stated that the court had gone to considerable lengths to ensure the defendant's right to a fair trial, even appealing to Kanu, in God's name, to present his defense and engage counsel. He emphasized, however, that the court could not compel a defendant to utilize his right to a fair hearing once the opportunity had been granted. Citing relevant Supreme Court authorities, the judge held that Kanu, by failing to take advantage of the opportunity to defend himself, had effectively waived his right to defense. Accordingly, the court adjourned the matter and fixed November 20, 2025, for judgment delivery.
Excuse me.
No, they don't want to sell them. We still fighting.
Okay, what's happening?
No, I'm going to fire. I'm going to fire.
Okay.
Is
Okay. So the father agreed. No, that's what he's telling us. He's going to file it. Yeah.
Sabo Commissioner for Youth, then never. He's coming. That's what he said.
Okay, yeah.
I'm the only one who
Your men are here.
very wonderful. No, nothing. Max. Look at Alhaji. Yes. Okay, thank you. Judge for good.
Supreme Court said do something, you will do it. And you're just sitting conviction. And you wonder why God cost you people. Useless black people. You don't know what justice means. You have no idea what justice means. You don't know what justice means. Useless black African people. You don't even know what justice. Your constitution says you cannot try anybody unless the law is written. Show me the written law. Show me the written law. I want to know the written law.
Talk to me now.
Show me the written law.
Are you okay?
Don't go close. Don't try that rubbish. Don't try it. Don't try it.
Go ahead and say
Don't try that rubbish.
Say what you're saying.
Don't try that rubbish. Useless people. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court judgment you don't respect. Then why are we in the court of law? Why are we in the court of law, I ask? Nonsense. You think Britain can ask you to jail me and you jail me? You are dreaming. You are dreaming. I'm telling you that you are dreaming. Nonsense. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court judgment you don't respect. That's why we are keeping this. Why are we in the court of law, I ask? Nonsense. You think Britain can ask you to jail me and you jail me? You are dreaming. You are dreaming. It's not a written law. You cannot. You cannot. You can't convict me. Are you insane? It's not possible. I'm Nnamdi Kanu. Who's going to try it? Nobody can. They've not killed them dead to the person. We never. Which law is that? Under which law is it? It's okay.